Hello, all my dear students. My name is Ajay Gulati. Welcome to Sri Jain's Rank Zone classes. I am your friend and mentor for the mathematics portion, or which you sometimes refer to as quantitative aptitude in your exam, in your entrance exam or all competitive examinations. Today we will be taking the class fifth, and I hope this will be the last and final class for the topic percentages. I'll wind up the entire chapter in this. I'll try to wind up the entire chapter in this so that I won't have to take any more classes for this topic. And I'll make sure that each and every one of you understands each and every concept which I explained right now. Okay, so let's start with it. Percentage is class 5. What do we need to discuss today? We need to discuss the concepts union and intersection. Union and intersection. Now, what does the word union? Union means joining together. Intersection means something which is being shared by two or three people, two or three groups, or anything like that. Okay, so let's take a very genuine sort of example. Okay, uh, let's say this is Europe and suppose this is Asia. Pardon me for my drawing, but I'll explain you the concept definitely. See, let's say this is some part, this is some part, this is common to Europe and Asia. This is actually known as Eurasia. This is what this is known as Eurasia. So, if somebody asks me, let's say this is Europe, Europe means E, Asia means A. If somebody asks me Europe intersection, this is the sign for intersection. Okay, what is the what is EUA? So that is Eurasia. Europe intersection Asia is Eurasia. And what will be EUA? EUA will be entire this diagram. Look like this something. This entire diagram is Europe Union Asia. This is, or you can say Eurasia. Okay, this one. Actually, I recorded this class earlier, but unfortunately there was no voice in it. So I'm re-recording all this. So let's move ahead. So far, I think things must be clear to all of you. Okay. Now, this is one thing. Okay. I will explain to you this diagram, this concept very beautifully by with this example. Okay. What we have now is, see, let's say this portion is Pakistan, P, and this is I, India. Now, let's say the population of India is 130 crore. The population of Pakistan is, let's say, 42 CR. I have really no idea. Pardon me for my pathetic general knowledge, but I am good with mathematics that I will explain you, dear students. Okay. Now, let's say this portion is POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Let's say there are 2 crore people living here. Now, what is, see, now the thing is, first of all, what is India intersection Pakistan? This POK is an area which India considers as ours. Pakistan also consider as its own. So out of the 42 crore Pakistanis, they are thinking these 2 crore are included in this. When it comes to India, let's say India has a population of 130 crore. India is also counting these 2 crore people in its own population. So this Pakistan occupied Kashmir is actually India intersection Pakistan or POK region or 2 crore people or the 2 crore people. This is one thing. Okay. Now the other thing is India Union Pakistan. What is India Union Pakistan? What will be India Union Pakistan? See, India Union Pakistan will be this entire area. How do we calculate this area? Let me explain it to you via diagram first. Then via this question also we'll do it. See, let's take this diagram. This is one part. This is second part. See, suppose this is A, this is B. This portion is only A, this is A intersection B, and this portion is only B. Okay. We have a formula for finding A union B. What is the formula for finding A union B? The formula for finding A union B is A plus B minus A intersection B. I will show it to you how does it come. First of all, if I consider it via diagram, if I talk in terms of diagram, what is A union B in terms of diagram? A union B in terms of diagram is like this. This is actually A union B. You have to find this. Okay, we have to find this A union B. What A union B is? Suppose I talk about A. What is A? This portion A is this bigger, this circle, smaller circle. This comprise of only A and A intersection B. Only A and A intersection B. What is B? B is only B and A intersection B. If I add these two, what do I observe, dear students? If I add these two, I get only A plus only B plus 2 times A intersection B, or I can say A intersection B twice. Okay, so think about it. This is A, this is B, these are separate. This portion is A intersection B, also this portion is A intersection B. This portion I am taking twice. When this is A, this is B, so this portion is A intersection B in both the diagrams. Okay, so this is A intersection B, this is also A intersection B. Both of these are A intersection B and they have been included twice when you add A and B. So for union part, you need to take this area only once. So what will I do? If I take this over here, A plus B minus A intersection B, what do I get? I get only A plus only B plus A intersection B. Just look at it. This is only A, only B plus A intersection B. This is what? This is actually A union B. So from here, what you deduce, A plus B minus A intersection B is equal to, this portion is what? A union B. This portion is actually A union B. So A union B, the formula for A union B is, A plus B minus A intersection B. Okay, dear students. So if I talk about India union Pakistan, I can calculate it by two ways. Look, if I want to find India union Pakistan, what will be? It will be India plus Pakistan minus India intersection Pakistan. How to calculate it? India is how much? 130. Pakistan is how much? 42. Minus India intersection Pakistan 2. 130 plus 40, or this is 170. This is one way of doing it. The other way could have been, look, there are three regions here. This entire is 42. Out of this 42, if you remove 2, out of this 42, if you remove 2, you get this is 40. This is 2. Out of this 130, if you remove this 2, this portion remaining is 128. 128 plus 2, 130. 130 plus 40 is 170 CR. So I have explained to you the entire diagram, entire detail of A union B and A intersection B now. Okay. Let me rub this portion. Let me just make sure voice is this time there. Yes. 72% of the students of a certain class took biology and 44% took mathematics. See, let's say the class strength is suppose 100%. Obviously, anything is 100% in itself. How many took biology? How many took mathematics? 44%. If each student took at least one subject from biology or mathematics and 40 took both, then the total number of students in the class is, see, the moment they say that each student took at least 1%, it means the class strength is 100%. Now, biology union mathematics is actually 100%. Now, what is biology union mathematics? Biology union mathematics would be B plus M minus B intersection M. B union M is how much? 100 is equal to biology is how much? 72. Mathematics is how much? 44 minus B intersection M. What is B intersection M? B intersection M will be how much? B intersection M will be, this we have to find. Let's say this is, let me write it as B intersection M only. So this, all this I'm dealing in percentage right now. Okay, this is, so 100% is equal to 116% minus B intersection M. So that way I can say 16% is equal to B intersection M. So 16% is equal to B intersection means 40 is equal to B intersection M. B intersection M is given to us as 40. This is given. So I can say 16% of class strength is given to us as 40. So 1% of class strength will be equal to, you divide this by 16, you get 2.5. So 100% of class strength. 100% of class strength will be 2.5 into 100, or you can say 250. Okay, dear students, let's take another question. Let me wrap this portion first. Now, before moving ahead, let's discuss one, then we will take further questions. Okay. See, students, if I talk about A union B, what does A union B means? Let's say this is a sample space, this is 100%. Okay. This is A actually, and suppose this is A union B. Okay. Now, this portion is called as A union B bar, or this is actually 100% minus A union B. This portion means neither A nor B. This portion is neither A nor B, and A union B is also referred to as either A or B, at least one out of A or B. Either A, this portion is at least one out of A or B. At least one out of, this portion is referred to as at least one out of A or B. If something lies in the circle, it means it is either A, it is at least something A or B. If something lies outside of this this portion, then this is neither A nor B. Okay, dear students, let's say, suppose this is the map of India. This is South India. Let's say this is Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, then Andhra, like this. Okay, Andhra Pradesh, and so on. So this is, let's say this is South India. South, someone who lives over here is a South Indian. But if somebody lives in India and in this portion, let's say India is a sample space. This is A, or this is, let's say, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. This portion is what? Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. This is Tamil Union Karnataka. So if somebody lives over here, he is neither Tamilian nor Karnatakite. Okay, he is neither Tamilian nor Karnatakite. Okay, so that way, this portion is neither A or B, neither A nor B. This portion is at least one out of A or B. Okay, now let's come back to the question. The question is, in an examination, 30% failed in mathematics. How many students are there who failed in mathematics? 34%. 42 failed in English. How many failed in English? 42% failed in English. 20% failed in both the subjects. Okay, I am talking about failed candidates only. Okay, failed candidates. Maths intersection English is given to us as 20%. These are the ones who failed in maths as well as English. So what will be maths union English? Math union English means math plus English minus maths intersection English. That will be what maths will be 34, English will be 42 minus 20, that will be 34 plus 22 or 56%. It means it means ma 56% candidates failed in at least one subject. In at least one subject. Okay. 56% candidates failed in at least one subject out of maths or English. So here I can say this is the 56%. These are the candidates who failed in at least one subject. So this portion is what? Then we need to find maths union English bar. This is what it means. Who failed neither in maths nor in English. Neither in maths nor in English. Who failed neither in maths nor in English. So what will happen? This will be 100% minus this 56%. These are the collection of failures who failed in at least one subject or both the subject, whatever. So whatever is outside this are the one who passed. So that way I can say this is equal to 44%. Okay, dear students, you can copy this if you want to. Let me move to the next one. In an examination, 80% of candidates pass in English. Let's say this is a sample space first of all. This is 100%. Okay, this is entire class. This is the full class. This is 80% pass in English. 85% candidates pass in mathematics. Mathematics is how much? 85%. This will be even bigger. Just a second. This is, let's say, maths, and this is 85. Okay. If 73% candidates pass in both these subjects, this portion is 73%. Okay. Then what percent of the candidates failed in both the subjects? Students, we will be doing this question via two methods. First is maths intersection English. This is given to us as 73%. What is English union mathematics? First of all, what does the word English union mathematics means? Those who passed in at least one subject. Okay. English union mathematics will be how much? M plus E minus M intersection E. That will be 80 plus 85 minus 73. That will be 165 minus 73, or you can say 165 minus 73. You can easily calculate. Rather than doing this, you do it by this. 80 85 minus 73 is 12. So this is equal to 92%. See, English union mathematics mean 92%. What does it mean? It means this portion, this entire portion is 92%. Out of this 100, 92 gone. How much is left? 8. Okay, remaining is 100 minus E union M. That will be 8%. What is the remaining? These remaining are these are those who pass in at least one subject. Whenever you have to deny those who pass in at least one subject, what you do? You say 100 minus this will be remaining. What does the word remaining means? Remaining means those who passed in none. This is those who pass in at least one subject. If you take remaining out of it means 100 minus 92. You will always write those who pass in none. Means neither A nor B. Neither A nor B. This will be your answer. Okay, dear students. I hope this much part is clear. So this will be 8%. Let's discuss the next question and next concept. The next concept is passing marks. So in generally, what type of questions are given in this? The question given in this, let's say 40% is the passing marks. We will be told a student has scored this many percentage and he fails by this many marks. So what will happen? The passing marks will be this 40% will be equal to this much percentage plus this marks. Okay, so this marks will be equal to the difference of these two. Let me show it via example. Okay. In an examination, a student who gets 20% of the maximum marks fails by 5 marks. Let's say this is the maximum marks. A student gets 20%. Okay. But if he gets 5 marks more, he will reach at the pass marks. Okay. 20% plus 5 will give you the pass marks. Another student who scores 30% of the maximum marks get 20 marks more than the passing marks. If this is the passing marks, another student who get 20 marks more, he reaches at he secures 30% marks. So from here, what can I conclude is these are the passing marks. One who gets 20% is 5 marks short. The other who gets 30% is 20 marks more, excess of passing marks. So I can say this gap from 20 to 30, this gap is how much? 10%. 10% is equal to 25 marks. So if 10% of maximum marks is equal to 25, then 100% of maximum mark will be 250. Okay, so I can say maximum marks are how much? These are 250. You can have a look over this question, and I'm sure it must be clear to all of you. Okay, let's move ahead to the next question. Before I do, I will be happy if you can solve it yourself. This is the next question. A student who secures 40% marks to pass. A student has to secure 40% marks to pass. He gets 90 marks and fails by 10 marks. The maximum marks are C. This is, let's say, 0. A student has to reach this. A student has to reach this 40%. Okay. He gets 90% and fails by 10 marks. He reaches here. He reaches this 90 mark. Okay. But he still fails by that 10 marks. That is, if he scores this 10 marks more, he will reach the 40% mark. So from here, I can say 100 marks is equal to 40% of maximum marks, or I can say 40% of maximum marks is equal to 100. Okay, so that way 1% of maximum marks is equal to 100 by 40, or you can say 2.5. So 100% of maximum marks will be equal to how much? 2.5 into 100, or 250. This is the maximum marks. This is 250. Okay, dear students, let's move ahead. You can try this on your own. The next question is, a student had to obtain 33% of the maximum marks to pass. He has to reach where? He has to reach the 33% mark. Okay. He got 125 marks and failed by 40 marks. That is, he reached till here. He reached till here 125 marks and he still failed by 40 marks. So that way what I can say is 125 plus 40 is 165 marks is equal to 33%. So what I can say is 33% is equal to 165. Okay. If 33% of maximum marks is equal to 165, so 1% will be how much? 165 divided by 33. If you cancel it, you will get 5. So maximum marks will be actually 100% is equal to 500. So this is the maximum. Option 1. I'm sure it must be clear to all of you. In an examination, a student must get 36% marks to pass. A student who gets 190 marks failed by 35 marks. See how much is the a student scores 190 marks, he fails. But if he scores 35 marks more, he reaches to the 36% mark. Okay, so I can say 225 marks means 36% of maximum marks or divide by 9. Okay, if I divide by 9, 25 marks means 4% of maximum marks. Okay, this one. So 4% of maximum marks is equal to 25 marks. So 1% of maximum marks will be how much? 25 by 4, that will be 6.25 marks. 100% of maximum marks will be how much? 625. Let's do this question first, then I'll get back to that one again. A man spends 40% of his monthly salary on. A man spends 40% of his monthly salary on food and one third of the remaining on the transport. See, let us say let that man's salary is equal to 100%. Out of this 100%, what does he does? He spends something on food. So I'll subtract that. That is minus 40%. So he gets 60%. Okay. When he spends 40% on food, the remaining is 60%. Now, after this, one third of the remaining on transport. How much does he spend on transport? What you do minus one third on transport. So what will be the one third of this? The one third of this will be 20%. So he is left with 40%. Okay. So now what is the remaining? The left is now how much? 40%. If he saves 4500 per month, which is equal to half the balance, let's say this is the balance. Okay. Out of this balance, he spends something, he spends again half, but he manages to save half. He manages to save half portion. Okay, half of this will be how much? 20%. This is his saving. Given, what is given? The saving is equal to 4500. This 4500 is equal to 20%. So from where what I can say is 0 to 0 cancel. Therefore you get 450 is equal to 2%, or 1% is equal to 225. What will be the 100%? 100% means 22500, or I can say monthly salary is how much? Monthly salary is equal to 22500. Okay, my dear students, I am sure this must be clear. Let's move another question. A person gave 20% of his income to his elder son. Let's say total, suppose total income. Let's say total income is how much? 100%. Suppose a person gave 20% of his income to his elder son, 30%, okay, given to elder son. How much is given to elder son? 20% gone. So 80% is remaining. Now remaining is 80%. 30% the remaining to the younger son, minus 30% of remaining. Why? Because given to younger son. See, what is 10% of 80? 8. That way 30% of 80 will be 24. So you subtract 24%. So what you are left with is 56%. Now what is given? 10% of the balance he donated to a trust. Okay, this is 56. 10% of 56 means 5.6%. This is donated to trust. So if you subtract 5.6% from 56, you get 50.4% is the remaining. So the remaining amount is 50.4% of salary. The remaining amount is 50.4% of salary. This 50.4% of salary is given to us as 10080. That way, 1% of salary will be what? 10080 by 50.4, or you can say you remove one decimal from here, you add a zero over here. This becomes 200. So 1% of salary, 1% of income, okay? 1% of income is equal to 200. So income is equal to 100%. 100% means 200 followed by 2 zeros. This is your answer, option number 4. Okay, dear students. Ram Babu donated 3% of his income to a charity and deposited 12% of the rest in the bank. If now he has 12804, then his income was, see students, let's say the income of Ram Babu was, let the income be R. Ram Babu's income be I. Okay, this was his income. He donated 3%. Babu 3% of his income to a charity. So how much is left? He was left with 97% and deposited 12% of the rest. Of the remaining he deposited 12%. 12% means he is left with 88%. Now he is having 12804 rupees. Okay, dear students. So how to solve it further? Let's cancel this by 11. This will become 8. If you cancel this by 11, there will be 1, 1, 8 again, 1, 7, 0, 6, 44, 4. I hope this much is clear. 11, 1 remaining, 1, 8, 7 remaining, 70, 66, 4 remaining 44. Okay, so let's again cancel this by 8. If I cancel this by 8, what will happen is uh, 1, 3 remaining 36, 4, 40, 4. See, first I write 1, 11, 36. 36 means 4. 44 means 5.5. So far clear. Now if this cancel with this, it will give you 1.5. Okay, how come? See, 97 is 48.5 into 2. This is 48.5 into 3. So this is 1.5. So that way I is equal to 1.5 into 100 into 100, or you can say 15000. So option 2 is your answer. I hope it makes sense, dear students. Okay, let me show you the next question. Out of his total income, Mr. Kapoor spends 20% on house rent. This is Mr. Kapoor. Okay, let's say his income is 100%. 20% on house rent. He spends 20% on house rent. So how much is remaining? 80% is remaining. This is total income. Out of this, he spends 70% on household minus 70% of remaining. What is 70% of 80%? That will be 56%. So minus 56%. How much is remaining? Now 24% is remaining. This remaining is 24%. This corresponds to 1800. What is total income? See, dear friends, if 24% corresponds to 1800, so that way I can say 4% corresponds to 300, 1% corresponds to 75. Okay, so 100% corresponds to 750. I might have been a bit fast while the calculation, but I hope you will also be able to do that. Okay, let's take one more question. So in this question, we will do very fast, just by basic calculation. How to do the calculation in the correct direction, that is the main thing. See how we implement the calculation in this question. A man spends 12.5% of his salary on items of daily use. Okay, see, let's say his salary was S. What does he do? He spends 12.5. 12.5 means 1 by 8. 1 by 8 he spends on item of daily use, so he's left with 7 by 8. And 30% of the remainder on household. 30, now see, this much is remaining. 1 8 spend, 12.5 means 1 8. Remaining is how much? 7 by 8. So 7 by 8. This is out of the 7 by 8, and use 30% of the remainder on house rent. See, of this, he's 30% is spent on the household. So how much remaining? 70%. 70% is remaining. So you can just 7 by 10. After this much, his salary left is 2940. Okay, this is 2940, or I can say S by 80 into 49 is equal to 2940. If you cancel both of these, this will be 60. 49 into 6 is 294, very easily. 50 minus 1. 50 into 6, 300 minus 1 into 6, 6. 300 minus 6, 294. This is the basic way of doing the calculation. 60 into 80, or that comes out to be 4800. So this is your answer, my dear students. I hope it must be clear to all of you. Okay, let's move to the next one. I will wind that one also. I'll try to do that also fast. A man gives 50% of his money to his son and 30% to his daughter. Let's say the man has money M, or R. Okay, 80% to his son, 30% to his daughter. The remaining is how much? 20%. So remaining amount is 20% of R. Out of this, he spends 8 now. 80% of the rest is donated to a trust. Out of this, 80% is donated. So left, how much money is left? 20% of this 20%, or I can say 20% means 1 by 5 of 1 by 5 R. This is 1 by 5. This is also 1 by 5. This is given to us as 1600. So that way I can say R is equal to 1600 into 25. A very pure, very good logic of doing this is, let me write it, 400 into 4 into 25. 25 into 4 is 100. 100 into 400, 4. Okay. So far clear? 40,000. This is your answer, option 16,000 it was. I'm very sorry, dear students. So there will be one more zero. If there is one more 40, 4 lakh is the answer. Let's take the next question. The question is, the difference of two numbers is 20% of the larger number. If the smaller number is 20, the larger number is, see, let's say this is the larger number, this is the smaller number. The difference of larger number minus smaller number is 20% of the larger number is equal to 20% of larger number. Either you can write it 0.2s, or if I write it 20% of L, so it automatically becomes 0.12. L minus S is equal to 0.12, or I can say 0.8 L is equal to S. So now what is L by S? L by S is, or S by L, let's say S by L comes out to be 0.8. S by L is equal to 4 by 5. 0.8 means 4 by 5. If the smaller number is 20, let's say this number is 20. So if you cross multiply, you get L is equal to 5 into 20 by 4, or that comes out to be 25. I hope it's clear to all of you. Let's take next question. A number when reduced by 10% gives 30. Let's say this is a number n. When this is reduced by minus 10% of n is equal to 30. So I can say n minus 0.1n is equal to 30, or 0.9n is equal to 30. That way n comes out to be 30 upon 0.9. That way you can say 300 by 9, or 33 1 by 3. That is 100 by 3, or 33 1 by 3. Option 2 is your answer. I hope so far everything is clear to all of you. Okay. So students, let's discuss the last type now. In just a second. Yeah. The monthly salaries of A and B together amount to rupees 40,000. 40,000. A plus B is equal to how much? 40,000. Next thing. A spends 85% of his salary and B 95% of his salary. If now their savings are same, then the salary of A is rupees. Actually, this is a very easy question, students. Look, what is being said? A spends. Okay, let's talk about the remaining salaries. Remaining salaries. If A spends 85% of salary, how much is his salary remaining? 15% of A. B 95% of his salary. B spent 95, so his salary remaining is 5% of B. Okay. If now their savings are, see, A spends 85%, remaining is 15%. B spends 95%, so his savings or remaining salary is 5%. These are equal, okay? So 15% of A is equal to 5% of B this way, okay, dear students? Now what do we have is, now what do we have is 15% of A is equal to 5% of B, or I can say, if you cancel 5%, 5% both sides, you get 3A is equal to B, okay? That means B by A, B by A, or I should write it like this, 3 by 1 is equal to B by A, or I won't solve it properly, but I will give you the direct answer. This is 3 by 1. Total salary is 40,000. Why to go for it? Just make it 30,000 and 10,000. Okay. If now their savings are same, then the salary of A is, so the salary of A is 10,000. Option number A is your answer. Okay, dear students. Let's move to the next question. When 60% of a number is subtracted from another number, the second number reduces to its 52%. Let's say two numbers. Let the two numbers be, let the first number be F, second number is S. When 60% of a number is subtracted from another number, see, from this second number we subtract 60% or 0.60 F. And the second number reduces to 52%. That is, what is remaining? The remaining is 0.52 S. So this comes over here and gets subtracted 0.60 F, or I can say 0.48 S is equal to 0.60 F, the ratio of first number to second. So first upon second will be what? 0.48 upon 0.60. You can write it as 48 by 60 F by S, or F by S is equal to 4 by 5. This is your answer, all my dear students. Okay, let's move towards the next one. In an examination, there were 640 boys and 360 girls. 640 boys, 360 girls, total 1000 people. 60% of the boys and 80% of girls were successful. Let's talk about past people. 60% of the boys. What is 60%? That is 0.6. 0.6 into 640. 4 in 6 into 4, 24. 2 carry 36, 32. This is 3 here, 3384. Okay, how many girls got past? 80%. That is 0.8. 360 into 0.8. That will be 288. So far clear? I'm sure it must be clear. So this total comes out to be 8 and 4, 12, 1 carry, 28, 8 and 1, 9, 9 and 8, 17, 7, 2 carry, 4 and 3. Okay. So this is 7, 7.2, 77.2. Sorry, 67 point. This much is the pass. Sorry, 672 people passed. Okay, so how many failed, dear students? Fail will be 1000 minus 672. Here you get 28, 328. So what is the fail percent? 32.8% people failed in the exam. Next question. A student score 32% marks in science subject out of 300. How much should he score in a language paper out of 200 if he has to get 46% marks? See, first of all, there are two subjects, okay? Science and language. 32% marks in science subject out of 300, and the language paper is given language paper out of 200. So the total marks is 500. This is the total marks. How much does he score in science? 32%. The 32% of this is 96. You can calculate it. Then language, how much does he score? Out of 200, we don't know how much does he score. In order to get an overall 46%. 46% out of 500 means 230. See, 1% is 5. If you need to find any 1% of any number, you need to remove the two zeros. You get 5. 5 into 46 will give you 230. This is equal to like this. So x comes out to be 230 minus 96, or you can say 134. Percentage marks, how many? 134 scored out of 200. Sorry. If you need to convert it into percentage, you need to do it like this. This is 67%, easily done. Okay. The last question I hope now, and we have done all possible types of question related to percentages, and I hope that all this must be enough for you. You might even have got bored of percentages. We'll start next topic tomorrow onwards. Let's wind this up. In two successive years, 100 students of us, 175 students of a school appeared in the final examination, respectively 75 and 60% of them passed. The average rate of passes. See, first year, how many people were there? 100. Second year, how many people were there? 75. What is the total? 175. Appeared in the final examination, 75 and 60%. Out of just 75% passed. Let's talk about passed people. This is appeared. 175% will give you 75 and 75, 60%. Okay. 60% means 3/5, that will give you 45. So how many passed? It is 120. So percentage pass is equal to 120 divided by 175 into 100. Let's cancel them. Let's cancel them by 25. You get 4, you get 7. Only this option has 7 in the denominator. This will be your answer. This becomes 480 by 7, or clearly 68 4 by 7. You can figure it out very easily. So this is your answer. Okay, my dear students. So I think that is all from my side. All the very best, students. Study properly, practice all the questions, all the classes which I have taught you, so that you attempt very good in your exam and in the very first go. Until unless you practice, you won't be able to do the question minimal time in your exam. You will waste a lot of questions, you will waste a lot of time in your exam. So please practice, adhere to my advice, practice daily, give a lot of time to mathematics, and solve all possible types of questions. Thanks a lot. Bye bye, take care, bye, all the best.